When we read history books, we often encounter the abbreviations BC, CE, AD, and BCE. We generally know that it pertains to a specific time in history, but have we ever wondered how did this come to be? BC stands for before Christ. It is the period in time before Christ himself was born. BC is placed after the dates or amount of year before Christ was born. Example would be 200 BC. AD stands for Anno Domini, and not after death, as what is commonly known. And no, don't assume that there was already a systematic dating system before Christ was born. This system was created back in AD 525 by a man named Dionysius Exiguus. He was tasked to make an estimate on when did Jesus Christ was born, using his knowledge in Easter table or computus, which was used to predict the date of when the Easter will fall, along with historical, biblical, and hierarchical records and evidences. Dionysius found out that Christ was born in AUC 753 in Roman calendar. AUC stands for Ab Urbi Condita, or from the founding of the city. This means that Christ was born 753 years after the foundation of the Roman Empire. But this system was never used for hundreds of years, until it was used by an English monk and historian named Bede in his book Ecclesiastical History of the English People, although the word before Christ was never used until the time of Denis Pitot, a French theologian. Dionysius uses before since the incarnation of Jesus Christ. What about the CE and BCE? Since Dionysius's dating system uses the name Christ, most of the non-Christian people do not agree with this system and do not want to use this to pertain to a specific time. So non-Christian countries preferred to use the system of Johannes Kepler. Kepler called his time as the Vulgar Era or Common Era. This is the birth of a derivatives from BC, the BCE or Before Common Era, not the general assumption of before Christ exist. And CE stands for Common Era, pertains to the time after Christ was born. This means that BC and BCE pertains to the same time. AD and CE also pertains to the same thing. These systems kind of confusing for most people. Why there aren't a single system that will unify this too? Well, there is a suggested system, which is the ISO 8601, where the BC, BCE, AD, and CE will be removed. It is suggested to use plus sign in all the years that we pertain to as Common Era or AD, and minus sign for those years that pertains to before Common Era or BC. There is another system being suggested to settle all the confusion, the Holocene calendar, which basically tells us to add 10,000 years to whatever year it is now. If this year is 2025, then it will be 12,025 HE, or Human Era. This was derived from the estimated time of agricultural development, the time that humans are considered to be the highest in animal kingdom. The current calendar we are using now is the Gregorian calendar, which Pope Gregory XIII asked people to use in 1582. This was after he noticed that the Easter do not coincide with the astronomical events. This is due to them using the Julian calendar, which is pretty accurate considering a short period of time. But if we are talking about thousands of years, Julian calendar will be off by several days, depending on how long it is being used. Gregorian calendar is the currently most accurate system we are using, thanks to Eliseus Lilius, who adjusted the Julian calendar by the virtue of Pope Gregory XIII. The adjustments made are, if the year is divisible by 100 and 400, it will be a leap year, regardless if it's 4 years after a leap year or not. Well, calendar are confusing, but it won't matter that much if human life expectancy in general is just 72 years.